Greetings, dear viewer. I think I have discovered the perfect Shen BRUISER build. I'm gonna go E here. Okay, hit it. We cancel the Akshan E actually by E-ing him. I don't know if he actually missed it from the wall. I'm gonna last hit these minions, gonna last hit the cannon minion right here. Let me go. -1. Okay. But guys, I have mega build for you guys. Mega BRUISER Shen. Oh, look, he's recalling. Recalling, check this. We have to cancel it. Okay, beautiful. Take a look if you see Akshan here. He went into stealth. I have an idea, guys. I have mega idea here. But if you E-flash, Q. Absolute cinema. We found it, we found the kill. Okay, let me push this in real quick. Okay, we can just recall. And take a look at our gold amount, by the way. 900 gold. What are we buying with 900 gold? Let me know in the comments. Is it a Bummy Cinder? Is it a Bummy Cinder? No, it's not. It is Symbiotic Souls. The Tempo Boots. Okay, this is the revolutionary Shen mid-lane technology that I've been preaching. But combine the Tempo Boots with the following BRUISER build, starting with Titanic Hydra, and you're going to have amazing success. We're gonna go directly back into back into lane. The Darius jungle is ganking top lane, Darius jungle being flavor of the month recently, although the recent nerfs took him down a little bit. Renekton is fighting that. This is gonna be really interesting. I could go for an E here, because I'm up a level, but the important thing... Okay, almost. The important thing is to not give him free passive procs here. Okay, let's see. He uses Q. This means it could be a good opportunity going. I found the taunt. I'm gonna Q here to get the empowered Q. Then we W as he attacks to block the Presti attack as well as the shield. We're gonna body block the Akshan. I think he's dead. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. So we body block the Akshan so that his E cannot be casted, okay? Because the E movement stops on the hit of the first champion hitbox, alright? We're just gonna be last hitting this wave quite carefully. We could even look for a recall here as the wave is pushing towards us, okay? So if we thin out the wave a little bit, and then we look for the recall, it could work quite well here. I have 750 gold, we could go Ruby Crystal, but yeah, let's channel it, because I have my ultimate, I'm level 6, so I can instantly affect the map based on recall. Ruby Crystal, and yeah, I'll just go Glove Armor here to help me with the laning phase. Akshan is actually quite a difficult matchup for Shen, because it is one of the ranged champions where we normally cannot E in, alright? So I started the recording of this game a little bit late, but what happened in the early game essentially is that I played the early game very passively, and then I found one opportunity, as you saw, to go in for the E. But normally, for example, level 1 versus mages, Shen is very free to just do an E and auto attack until he gets Crash Chop, as well as sudden impact damage, right? But versus Akshan, since he has so much consistent DPS, we cannot actually use that trading pattern. In addition to that, Akshan's stealth roaming ability is quite difficult for Shen to deal with in the early levels. Here I use my W just to create space and look for the auto attack on the Akshan. But yeah, the early roaming ability from Akshan's W can be quite difficult to deal with, especially if you do not go for Bummy Cinder in the early game, which we have done here. So as we go for the Symbiotic Souls, the trade-off that we are making is that we don't have that high of a lane pressure, and we cannot get priority in the lane, so we cannot push the wave towards the enemy tower, which creates opportunities for the enemy to roam. But our ultimate helps with negating the roam ability of the Akshan. I'm still looking for an E here aggressively. I couldn't quite get it. I'm gonna trigger the sudden impact and then gonna walk towards my blade in order to block the double projectile coming from Akshan's passive, which auto-attacks twice. And whereas Akshan, the W is quite useful because you can block obviously the passive application, the PTA application, as well as 2 auto-attacks in a row due to his passive. I'm still aggressively looking for taunts here, and you notice that my positioning is also quite aggressive as I move behind the enemy range minions in order to push the enemy back, and thus also denying my melee minions, or rather my range minions from the opponents. We're gonna be looking for an ultimate on the Renekton. I'm gonna go for the secure taunt on the Darius. We wait for Renekton W to go. Oh, we could actually get more here. I'm gonna ignite immediately, but the Vladimir simply phase rushes away. I think he ghosted, yeah. 5 seconds E, cannot look for the Akshan, but it's a good turnaround play regardless. The most important thing in a scenario like that is to wait for the guaranteed CC before wasting your E. We could deny the cannon minion, look my positioning there. I walk up aggressively so that Akshan cannot directly path towards my cannon minion, and therefore I also deny. I'm denying the range minions right here by moving up, and I'm simply pressing my Q in order to create a blade positioning that will give us an advantage later. Darius is on their blue buff, which means I have opportunity to go in. I'm simply walking up and I'm queuing. Even though I'm doing no damage to my opponent, I'm pressuring him away from the wave. So all I'm doing is, what up Akshan, you cannot come close to me. Then when he attacks, Q, passive shield, block the passive shield, create an aggressive blade positioning, and that creates another threat for him to deal with. So it's kind of this back and forth battle where I don't even need to necessarily touch the opponent. Okay, there's something going on here. I would like to push the wave before moving, so I'll start hitting the wave. Akshan is definitely roaming in stealth. Gwen and Nautilus are looking for something. We don't see the Darius on the top side anymore, so we can assume that the Darius is moving towards the bottom side jungle play here. I'm gonna keep hitting, we could get the thing. I could recall. I don't think there's anything. Oh, wait. Let's go. Because Akshan is here. Darius should be here as well. Akshan flashes forward. Okay, we're gonna need to... I miss my taunt. I don't know how this is gonna work out. I think these guys are just dead. I need to back off. I'm just gonna channel the recall. That was really difficult situation to play. I did not have the range to hit the taunt. I'm gonna go for a Tiamat here to deal with the aforementioned problem of Akshan roaming. As you saw, it was very important for me to get the wave pushed in so that I don't lose experience. And if I have Tiamat when I'm this fed, I can actually make up for the loss in combat power by going Tiamat, right? Or rather, I said that wrong. It's like going Tiamat makes you weaker in combat. But since I'm already ahead of the Akshan, I'm able to take that trade-off, right? Because I have more stats from base levels, and I also have a little bit more gold. And I went for the cloth armor to supplement my early laning power. I'm gonna be looking for a ward here to create a little bit of vision on the Raptor camp, since Darius is passing towards that. Look, my teammates, my support and jungler are once again looking for some kind of invade play on the enemy red buff. And the moment I see this, I'm gonna start hitting the wave here, creating an opportunity for us to move. I'm just gonna keep hitting one more auto attack. I don't care if I miss these auto attacks as long as I get the wave pushed in. Now there's a play to be made after I have pushed the wave, but we gotta play this carefully. Gwen is going for something. I'm not gonna up. I found the Darius in a taunt, but there's a Bard ultimate. I have everything up, okay? I have a flash here. Darius flashes away. I still have ultimate if I need to save Gwen, but I would not like to use an in-combat ultimate. I could look for it here. Nautilus goes for a hook. I'm gonna position safely here so that the Bard doesn't stun me. He can still look for walls. I'm gonna E-flash on Darius. I'm gonna kill the Darius here with the Tiamat. I can probably get the Bard with one more auto. Okay, he escapes. I'm gonna ulti on the Gwen. Create a pressure point here, and Nautilus dies, unfortunately. Still, my fast E-flash is able to get the kill on the Darius, and we get... yeah, it was good. Thank you, Nautilus. Thank you, Gwen. I think it was... I'm hoping those are positive pings. Nautilus could, in one scenario, flame me for not ulting him because he died, but I think those were mostly positive pings. I'm 3-0-2, having a successful early game here on the BRUISER Shen. We're gonna be actually... we're gonna be investigating the tower plating here. 125 gold. And then we're gonna channel a recall as we move towards our Titanic Hydra. The tunneler will be completed as well as a Ruby Crystal. Level 9, so I could have swapped to Blue Trinket here. I don't think it's necessary yet. I can still, as I have the Tiamat for wave clear, I can actually move and place those wards. But I'm honestly a big fan of the Blue Trinket as it often creates vision opportunities that could not be found with the Yellow Trinket, as it just takes too much time to move into the enemy jungle to place these wards. Additionally, the opponents here are looking for... actually, I thought they were taking... I wasn't sure. They kind of pressured for both objectives, so we kind of gave up Dragon there. Since Bard, the support, was moving... okay, Darius, you don't hit those. Oh, you don't hit those, buddy. You don't hit those. I have completed my symbiotic souls. They are now synchronized. I could look for a taunt here on the Akshan. Found it. I have my W to block the press the attack application. Okay, he got it on the next auto attack. Akshan uses E. The Nautilus ulti on the Darius is quite aggressive. I don't have my E. Darius will be getting a big Q heal. He hit 4 people with a Q there, healing him for missing health percentage-wise on every single application of the Q. Renekton just TP's back top lane. Gwen is still looking for a play on the Rift Herald, possibly, rather the Void Grubs. Darius, level 8. In a kill range for me, but it's a little bit too dangerous as the Bard and Akshan are roaming nearby. I could just channel my recall here. Okay, no, they don't want me to recall. I'm just gonna channel it here. Waste their time a little bit. I can stay for the next wave. Severe... What is even going on? What is going on there? Like, it was... Ezreal was like... My ADC had swapped places. I was so confused as to why the blue ADC was hitting the blue tower there, but... What was that, man? Like, why was Ezreal under our tower? And, okay, I don't know what happened there, guys. You gotta rewind and check what was going on there. I'm gonna complete the Titanic Hydra, switch to the blue trinket here. 18 seconds on my ultimate, ready to make some plays. The game is 8-8, it's a close one. Okay, Nautilus finds the shutdown on the Ezreal, that's beautiful. Don't know if it's worth for the shutdown gold to go towards Nautilus, but it's definitely better than just letting the Ezreal live. 4 seconds on my ultimate. I'm gonna try to go for the... Ooh, I got it. That's a mental advantage just gained from the Akshan. Renekton died top side, which means that Vladimir will be getting a good recall off here. What I could do is I could move instantly towards the top side. I think it's... There's ward there. I think this... No. It's a little bit... I would take too much time and I would lose minions in the mid lane. So rather I'll just keep pushing the mid wave here. You might notice that I'm still testing out the unflinching technology, although this game I think it was a mistake. I think the overgrowth was simply the superior option. As I've looked at the data from Coachless, the win probability added of the overgrowth rune is still at a maximum compared to the other alternatives. Revitalize is definitely not worth taking on solo lane Shen. Overgrowth is just the superior option there. Unflinching, I do believe, has its niche right now as it is buffed. So I'm still taking unflinching into matchups such as Cho'Gath, Gragas, these kinds of things, where you're constantly getting slowed or CC'd, which allows me to play much more aggressively. Another good one would be something like... well, Cassiopeia is not that good because in the early game it's only her W that grounds, but after Dry Lice you get a lot of value from it. I think there was one matchup, which one was it? That was constantly slowing me. I don't remember at this point. But if you see opponent with lots of... Oh, Olaf, that's the one. Yeah, because Olaf matchup is so explosive in the early levels that you want to have all the combat power that you can. This is probably the best matchup to take unflinching in. I don't have that much data for this, but this is just based on theory crafting and personal experience. This gives you the slight edge in the early game. If you go for Ignite as well as unflinching versus Olaf, that means you can actually win some of the early 1v1s. Because the Olaf Q is permanently applying unflinching armor and magic resistance on you. I might need to... No, I think Renekton is just dead. It's not worth ulting. I'll just let him die. I'm gonna start hitting the tower here, as the action is not really a threat. I got one auto attack in there, but then... ooh, hello Bard. There's a lot of action going on in the mid lane in this game. You know what, guys? There are some Shen buffs on the way. So, next patch, which should be roughly a week from the upload timer of this video, there will be... Oh, my team is trying to... There will be a buff that makes Shen's Q deal the flat damage on towers. This will significantly upgrade Shen's split push potential, and I have already prepared a perfect build for that, but you'll have to stay tuned to find out what it is. I'm thinking mega tower breaking damage, if you catch my drift. I have ultimate ability for the bot lane, but I think Sivir should be fine there alone since she has her spell shield. Going for the Yuntal Wild Arrows, which is definitely the supremum of the ADC items right now. Every ADC champion that can utilize Yuntal well is definitely along the meta picks. I should be looking for a roam here on the bot side, since I have a lot of space created from pushing the wave fast with my Titanic Hydra. I don't think this will work out into anything, but at least I'm creating a pressure point, forcing Bard to back off, and we're gonna start the dragon here. I'm just gonna tank it with my W, since the dragon is now a basic attack. Previously, the dragon auto attacks were counted as spell effects, which meant that Shen W could not block them. And Nocturne W, for example, could, but nowadays the tide has shifted a little bit, and Shen W is better than Nocturne W when it comes to dealing with dragons. Renekton is kind of giving up the top lane pressure, which is not that good. I wonder if I can get that minion. I should have prepared it better. If I attacked the melee minion first before the other melee minion that was not being focused by the tower, I could have gotten both of those minions, but it is these small mistakes that keep happening. You cannot kind of remove all the mistakes from your gameplay, but you can try to remove as many as possible. I could look for an ultimate on the Renekton, but I doubt it's actually a good idea here. It's not a good idea, they just have too much damage. I could look for the Gwen here though. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Gwen here. She's more tanky with her W usage. Ooh, I missed the E, but I think we're gonna... I got the shutdown, beautiful. My Q auto-attack Titanic Hydra, allowing me to pick up the kill despite the missed E. The good thing about sudden impact is you get the damage even if you miss the applying ability, which is E. I'm gonna flash here to try to save myself from the Darius Q execute. He only got 2 stacks on me, which seems... Ooh, I have QW here to block Sivir, or auto-action Sivir rather. I have to play this very patiently because I don't have energy right now. I don't have enough energy for E. This really sucks because I cannot look for anything. I'm pinging Gwen back because I do not have this energy. If I E in here and get stunned by Bard, it's just game over for me. I do have a shutdown on my head, so I need to play this quite carefully. And the ideal gameplay here is to not die at all. I could try to get the plant, but the Ezreal is faster than me. Okay, it is what it is. Channel the recall, we're gonna go for the Deadman's Blade. This allows me to do a lot of damage, gives me a little bit more mobility, as well as some durability versus the primary threats, which are Ezreal and Darius at this stage in the game. The Vladimir will also be scaling into quite the monster, so we're gonna be having to itemize a little bit of magic resistance later on in the game. But at this stage, I can decide who to fight. So I can position myself on the opposite side of the map in comparison to Vladimir, which will usually yield the better results here since we have itemized towards the physical damage of the opposing team. Darius is looking for something in the mid lane. Sivir is defending mid lane tower, so we're just gonna be farming this peacefully. I have 48 seconds cooldown on my ultimate. I could be trying to take down the tier 1 tower here as the opponents pressure up for our tier 1 bot lane tower. Akshan is here to clear the wave up. Darius is here as well. I'm gonna E. That was... that was close. The problem there, I think it's a misplay by me actually to E, because I should have E'd earlier or then not E'd at all. Because what could have happened there is the annoying interaction. It's not an annoying interaction, but rather the kind of like worst case scenario when it comes to dealing with Darius apprehend. Is that if you cast your E and the Darius manages to catch you in the E animation, he will obviously cancel your dash and you will be pulled back regardless, in which scenario I would have died there definitely because I do not have my flash up, right? So we're just going to be hitting the wave again, trying to create the point of pressure. We see Darius in the mid lane, we might have to ult on Sivir, it might not even be worth it. I think she's out, she survives the electrocute damage. We could look for ultimate on Gwen again, I'm going to be looking for it, beautiful. Should at least get the Darius here, find it. We're gonna use the Blast Cone, Bard hits me. I can still probably catch up to this, I'm not sure. I'm gonna use the Blast Cone here. I'm just gonna clear the Bard. We got one. I could channel the recall immediately and go to top lane. This is the good benefit about the Symbiotic Souls, because it allows me to reset extremely quickly after a play with my ultimate. Because this is one of the primary opportunities for the opponent facing Shen, is that when Shen ults away, the opponents have the ability to take towers. But Symbiotic Souls negates that ability, as we can return to the map much faster using the increased movement speed out of combat as well as the enhanced Baron style recall. Now, you might notice that I did not actually complete an entire magic resistance item, and I left a lot of gold in my bag unused. The reason why I do this is because I was actually not sure about which magic resist item to go for. So I decided simply to buy a null magic mantle, as I know it will be necessary versus the Vladimir, and then I can decide later what I want to build. I'm gonna keep going for this tower as Renekton sees the Akshan, is able to force a flash there, and this means that we should be able to get the tower. I'm gonna instantly auto-attack reset here. Notice that I'm kiting in between the auto-attacks to maximize my Deadman's Blade damage on the tower. This is useful and just something that you should always be doing when you purchase Deadman's Blade or any energized effect, because they gain stacks from movement. So something like a rapid fire cannon or a static ship, you should also be moving in between every auto-attack, even if you're hitting the tower. I will be going for a tunneler here. So I'm leaving the magic resistance cloak, null magic mantle, in my inventory. It is enough magic resistance to be able to teamfight right now. Okay, Vladimir looks for an escape path using the Rift Herald. I don't think we can stop him. Just running away. The dragon will be spawning soon. We should be able to contest this. I have 30 seconds ultimate cooldown, but I have my ignite. I need to play this quite carefully. The Nautilus is getting one shot there. I cannot go in there because it's a 3 versus 5 scenario, and dying is not gonna solve anything. So I'm just gonna pick up some of the honey fruit, reset, try to make a better fight. We used Gwen Ghost. I'm gonna ping back here. We used Bard ultimate. Now we could potentially look to fight. 20 seconds on my flash though. I think it might be a lost dragon. A lost cause without our support providing vision. I'm gonna run directly towards the tower. I'm pinging topside so Sivir would catch the topside wave. We don't need 2 people in the mid lane. Before the opponents collapse on me from the dragon, I'll try to clear some of the wave here. Mitigate the pressure that they will gain after the dragon. I'm just gonna simply run away here, sidestep the action Q so that my symbiotic souls will activate faster. Gwen is fighting. I'm gonna ult on Gwen. She's alive. I'm gonna look for Darius here, auto Titanic, and then flash away so that Darius cannot heal from me and Vladimir can't kill me. We're gonna play this patiently. Look on Ezreal, look on Ezreal. 1 second, I'm gonna go on Ezreal now. Found it. Oh no. We have too much damage there. The action came in from the stealth. It was a very disadvantageous fight for us. I think I played it pretty well, but one mistake I made is I did not evaluate the numbers of the opponents after flashing into the bush. So I had a little breathing moment there in the bush where I could have just waited, seen what happened. I was waiting for Ezreal to waste his E forward, because otherwise my E will be futile against his mobility. But after the E, it was just game over for me since I had already wasted my... not wasted, rather used my flash. We're gonna be going towards the Sterak's Cage here. And the idea is that the opponents have a lot of single target damage coming in from Darius ultimate, Akshan, Ezreal Qs, Bard auto attack, electrocute. And purchasing Sterak's Cage will allow me to just survive that single target damage a little bit easier. It is always, like one thing I've noticed just from looking at a lot of the data with my working coachless is that these items that have activated, or rather passive effects on a big cooldown, passive survivability effects on a big cooldown, tend to be quite undervalued in League of Legends, meaning that they are actually better than people think they are. So the category which I'm talking about is items such as Banshee's Wail, Edge of Night, Sterak's Cage, Lifeline items, Maw of Malmortius, and did I say Seraph's Embrace? I don't think I did. So all of the 3 Lifeline items, Seraph's, Sterak's, and Maw of Malmortius, all of those 3 are very good items. The reason being that League of Legends is a game where humans play against each other. And humans, especially, let's say, anyone below challenger level, are usually not perfectly evaluating the cooldowns of the opponents, not checking their inventories. And I, myself, almost never check the inventories opponents, even if I should. I check like the general power level, but I don't think about the individual items that the opponents have. And why that matters is that Seraphs, Steraks, and Maw are such effects that they can like very heavily affect the fight. I'm gonna look for ultimate on Renekton here, but the thing is that the opponents have a lot of disengage, so I want them to commit harder on Renekton before I ult. This is still fine, I don't need to ult. Okay, should I ult now? Don't think so. Oh, no, it's not worth. I'm gonna look for Gwen. If Ezreal steps up too far, okay, beautiful. Found it. I think I killed Akshan. Okay, we got the kill. Ezreal used E. I can find the taunt. Ezreal flashes, I'm pretty sure. Can I hit here on Darius? Look, I have a lot of auto-attack damage with my Deadman's Blade and Titanic Hydra. Play this. I have Titanic Hydra. Beautiful. Got the Darius. I'm level 16. I'm very strong. I can still look for Ezreal here, by the way. I need to play this patiently. I think Ezreal used E right there. I'm pretty sure he used E to damage. Found it. Auto Titanic. And one more auto. 1k gold shutdown. That's it right there. 8, 1, and 4. We can still look for Vladimir after this. I have 1 second on E. Coming out of stealth. And then auto Titan. Yes, man! Yes! That's huge! They are still winning this game. But we have a chance to come back. Okay? I'm putting on quite the performance here. So I'm just auto Titanic reset, get the cannon minion. 2.2k gold. I get stunned by the Bard, but at least Sivir escapes. That's the most important thing, that my ADC escapes right there. I'm gonna put the Scrying Orb or whatever on the enemy red buff. Spirit Visage. I could wait for Spirit Visage. We don't have... I wonder if Abyssal Mask would be worth it. I'm gonna go for Spirit Visage. I do have the Sterak's Cage shield, which will be amplified by the Spirit Visage. So that's good. I have the Grasp healing, I have the second wind healing. And my passive shield is also amplified by Spirit Visage, so it's gonna be a fine option here. Also gives me a lot of combat power for this dragon fight coming up. I'm gonna try to clear the wave as fast as possible and then directly move towards the dragon. I don't care if I miss some of these, I just want to push the wave fast. My team is posturing up and we got the Scuttler, so we have a good vision, or rather we deny good vision from the opponents. Maybe hitting the dragon here. We're gonna pull it back a little bit, or are we? I don't know. I think we should pull it back a little bit, but I mispositioned. We should just get this, I think. Can they go for Baron? I have 10 seconds on my ultimate. I think they're baiting, but I'm gonna check. I need to be with my team here. Ooh, they are actually going for it. But it's 14k. We can push here. We can threaten tier 1 tower first. And then try to cancel their Baron attempt. Okay, let's see how we play. Oh! I wanted to go for E-Flash, but I get interrupted by Bard. I'm gonna ulti on... I don't like this. I'm gonna block the action ultimate. Can go for Vladimir here. Q, auto Titanic. It was close to kill. I need to flash because otherwise I die to Vladimir Ezreal. I have 2 seconds on E. Oh, the Vladimir is 1v9ing this, by the way. I'm gonna try to block the Ezreal Q with a my W on C3. Am I just dead here as well? Do they catch up to me? I have 4 seconds on E. I think I'm fine. That was so rough, guys. If you wanna rewind and see what happened, basically, in my head what happened was, I was gonna E-flash on the enemy backline. As soon as I was gonna channel E, I got Bard ulted. I did not notice the Bard ult animation, and I got caught right on the edge of the Bard ultimate. This created enough time for the enemy backline to reposition themselves far away from me and then isolate Renekton as their primary target. Afterwards, I made the mistake of using my using my ultimate in combat to try to position myself towards the enemies by teleporting on top of Renekton. But I think it was futile since I just wasted a lot of time standing still in the fight, and meanwhile my backline was getting killed by the assassin characters Darius and Akshan. So the Vladimir and Ezreal were just too tricky for us to catch up to. I think we really needed an E-flash engage there, a snap engage, in order to kill the enemy backline with Renekton. But after I was taken out of the fight by the Bard ultimate, then Renekton no longer had the ability to get on top of the targets because my E-flash was necessary for him to follow up with the W. This is gonna be really hard. Like, the game is gonna be really hard here. I have 20 seconds on my ultimate. With the Baron buff on opponents, they are now creating a lot of pressure points on the map. Ezreal is pushing mid lane. I think they're mostly grouping here. I'm gonna buy the... should I go Randuin's component? No, let's just go this. It's fine. The Vladimir is quite fed, so getting a little bit of extra magic resistance won't hurt. I could look for a flank here with the Renekton. I'm gonna look for it. We can pause. Okay, we found Taunt on Darius. Titanic. I have Ignite here. Darius flashes. I have 2 seconds on E. We should be fine here. Oh, actually, the Ezreal catches up to me. I have QW, CL. Can you block? Can you block? Ooh, I'm so low. I don't... Okay, I have enough energy. But Nautilus dies. Ay. How can we stop this now? The Bruiser build is coming to plan. I do have Sterax, Cage, Dermant Blade, Titanic Hydra, Spirit Visage, very good Bruiser build, but will it be enough to save this situation? I have Ignite, no Flash. We have 2 versus 5. I'm gonna try to go for a Taunt here. Okay, I got pulled. Oh no. I think it might be lost here. I'm gonna try my best to... Yeah, it's lost. Damn. I'm not upset with my performance. I think I played quite well. Yeah, let's check the mistakes from coaches. So early game, no mistakes until 20 minutes, where we have a bad objective trade. Here I died to the Ezreal. But losing is a part of the process. So we move forward and we improve. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.